Testing. 1, 2, 3. Are we filming?
Yep.
Alright. Alright.
How should we start this?
We'll just improv it. Just gotta let it come naturally. I can't, Mr. Frodo. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Daniel.
I'm Leo.
And welcome back to another episode of the Leo and Daniel Show, otherwise known as The Lads. And today we're counting down our top 10 picks. Not kidding. Today we're looking at the top 10 movies of the decade. And close seconds, honorable mentions, and the ones that didn't make the list. Alright? Leo, take over.
Well, I think... I don't know, should I just go through the top 10 or what?
Intro, just be like, small intro for each movie, or why you did or did like it, we're starting our list off with.
Okay, starting my list off is Silent Voice. I just watched this a few months ago, and it's really personal, and it's the only movie on this list that actually made me cry, and yeah.
Dang. The anime movie, right?
Yeah, about the deaf girl who gets bullied and then punch her in the face. Next is Sing Street, Whiplash, Interstellar, 12 Years a Slave, Wolf of Wall Street, Baby Driver, Mission Impossible Fallout, Midsummer, and I couldn't think of a 10th movie. So
really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's understandable, because it's hard to pick them, honestly, because because in your mind you have your favorite movies, your go-to movies, but then to actually rank them, and then they actually have to fit the parameters of the decade, it's now I can't think of anything. I couldn't think of a top 10, honestly, but I do have a lot of movies I could just go down, by genre, by ranking, etc. What do you think was the greatest movie of the decade?
I mean, I don't know about greatest, objectively, but A Silent Voice is my favorite because, it just hit me emotionally in a way that a lot of other movies didn't, and I related to the main character a lot, and, yeah. What about you?
The bully or the girl? The
bully, because the movie... if you watch the movie, it goes it goes a long way in making you feel sympathetic to the bully, because pretty much the cards get switched around.
No spoilers.
All right. Or I'm just saying the plot of the movie, or the hook of the movie is that he gets pretty much he bullies the girl, and then the tables turn, and he's the one that ends up getting bullied, and he has a hard time dealing with it. So yeah, I didn't get bullied in high school, but I mean the social anxiety that he deals with. Yeah.
No, I get that. I mean, for me, the best anime movie would have to be The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. It's so beautiful that the second that I put play and the title sequences and the music played, I started getting emotional. And it's just it sounds like an exaggeration, but honestly, it's just because something is going to be the way it is. When Wes Anderson releases a movie, you know exactly what it's going to be. But for me, that was The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, and sure enough, it was a very melancholic, heart-wrenching, just beautiful movie. 10 out of 10. Recommend.
Is that Studio Ghibli or?
That is Studio Ghibli, but it's not Miyazaki. I don't think it's Miyazaki. No, it's not Miyazaki, but it's Studio Ghibli. I mean, and I think it came from this decade, so I think that would count.
Yeah, I think it was 2014.
Yeah, it was definitely from this decade. So for me, best anime movie of the decade, Tale of the Princess Kaguya.
Alright, and then this is a movie that... Sing Street is a movie that I introduced you to.
Yes, I remember that.
I think in school. Was the first time you watched it?
It was in English class, yeah, because we had to watch him. We were going to watch a movie the day before spring break, and Leo Kima gave the suggestion to the teacher, Sing Street. Who's the director? Some foreigner.
Fuck. It's I don't know. I knew his name, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
yeah, it's a foreign film though, right? European?
Yeah, Irish, I think.
Yeah, I think it's from Ireland. That was I think everyone was surprised though, because it turned out to be a great movie, you know, cuz it's like it's one of those movies that it's not an upper echelon movie like There Will Be Blood or Birdman, but it's just like you only watch those movies like once. A movie like Sing Street you can put on, you know, like whenever you feel like, you know, watching a good movie, a funny movie, you know.
Yeah.
So definitely that's one of the few times that someone's actually shown me a movie or something and I've actually liked it, like genuinely. I mean, I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to agree.
No, you're an asshole.
I am an asshole.
Whiplash. Another movie from 2014. Dude.
Great year. That 2014 was probably the best year of the decade for movies.
That's what I had in my notes, is that 2014 just had some great shit, man.
Was that also Birdman?
Yeah.
Wait,
no, Birdman was 2015, I think.
You sure?
No, it was 2014.
It was 2014 because Birdman got the Oscar, Best Picture Oscar, and Whiplash got the Best Best Lead Actor.
I don't know. I think got Best Supporting Actor for J.K. Simmons.
For J.K. Simmons.
I could just be pulling that out of my ass, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he deserves an Oscar. That performance was fucking insane. Whiplash, definitely in my top 10 for the decade. Probably top 5. Like, amazing movie. Like, and honestly, it brings up the debate about the difference between motivating people, pushing people to greatness, and bullying and trauma, and where you draw the line between them. Like, spoiler alert, but like towards the end, you know, like he became, you know, like J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Rowling, yeah.
J.K. Simmons' character, Terrence Fletcher, sets him up to fail miserably. He teaches him the wrong part, or he tells him to play the wrong piece. They play another piece, embarrasses him. He had that planned all along. And then he comes back, starts playing what he's playing, and then like just completely turns the table. And that's what Terrence Fletcher really wanted. It wasn't just to bully him or get back at him. It was to push him so close to the edge, just push him so far and so hard that he pushes him into greatness. That kind of lesson can't be overlooked. But at the same time, one aspect of the movie is that one of the characters that he taught committed suicide, most likely due to his abuse, due to how hard and how mean he was, and how just crushing his character is to turn people great. But so it's one of those lessons. Is Terrence Fletcher a good guy or a bad guy? You can't say. It's what you make of it. It's what the person makes of it. All in all, great movies. Must-watch movie, absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember, if we're talking spoilers, I remember like the scene where Miles Teller's character flips his car, and that fool still wants to go perform while he's bleeding. Dedication right there. Next movie on my list is Interstellar. And Interstellar's on my list because I was really into astronomy at the time. I was just I really liked learning about stars and stuff. And there's a scene in this movie where like he's going, like the crew is going into a wormhole, and like me sitting in the theater, I couldn't believe it. I was like just waiting I don't know. I couldn't like fathom what would be inside a wormhole, like how they would portray it, and then like as they were going in, I was just like hoping that the movie wouldn't end, even though it was only like 20 minutes into the movie. But yeah, it was just a mind blowing movie. It had a really good ending. Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak on it because I haven't seen that movie. It's one of those things, I don't know if I'm going to like it or if I'm going to hate it. Because, for example, I'm not a fan of The Martian. I mean, Leo knows this. I wasn't a big fan of it. But at the same time, Matthew McConaughey's a good actor. I know it's a very critically acclaimed movie, so I'll just have to see it, and then I can really judge it. But we'll see.
And have you seen 12 Years a Slave?
Of course, I've seen 12 Years a Slave. Dude, we were talking about the song the other day, right?
No,
not like that. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Dude, that was a great movie. Came out when we were in middle school, I believe.
2013, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
8th grade.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I remember watching this movie in history.
Really?
Yeah.
Miss Martinez?
Mr. Unusual, man. No, not middle school history, high school.
Ah, right.
Mr. Unusual. The fool would only play movies and like John Green videos. Fucking, what is it, Crash Course?
Yeah,
he would only play that.
Dude, John Green is a soy boy.
John Green got me through 11th grade history.
Okay, that's true. He's also a beta male, though.
How so?
He posts about drinking soy on his Twitter.
Oh.
He's lost.
Yes, titties.
Yes. 12 Years a Slave. That's a great movie, though. I mean, dude, can we talk about Lupita Nyong'o? Probably hands down, just amazing performance. Like, you cannot top it.
For real.
You know she's Mexican?
I didn't know that.
She was like born in Mexico or something. Yeah, so she counts as her nationality is like she's like part Mexican, I believe. I think that's probably why her name is Lupita.
Probably, yeah. And why is her last name Nyong'o?
Because she's also part Nigerian, I believe.
I reject your hypothesis.
I reject your
Next on the list is Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, Martin Scorsese was like fucking in his 70s when he made this movie.
True.
In his 80s, and like it's like still really energetic.
Sort of like the Clint Eastwood effect, in which Clint Eastwood makes movies in his 80s, but they're still like, slappers, or they're still like high energy. Martin Scorsese's a goat, though, for sure.
He's been at it since like the 70s or 60s.
His debut was Taxi Driver, I believe.
That'd be the 70s.
76, I believe. He made a cameo in the movie.
I think. What character was he?
He plays some crazy guy in the cab. Like, look, drive up to that building, and then Robert De Niro's character drives up to her. He's like, see, that's my wife. She's bleeped by a bleep.
Yeah. I think yeah.
Not to be vulgar, for any of the
liberals.
For any of the liberals. I was gonna say kids, but same thing, right?
Oh,
I'm also liberal.
Me too. Well, Baby Driver is next on my list. Have you seen Baby Driver?
I have not seen Baby Driver.
Dude, the way they use music in that movie, where like all the action is synced up to what the music is doing, it's like I wanted to see a movie do that when I was a kid, and like seeing it in the theater, like seeing it come to fruition, was just like mind blowing to me.
I mean, how so? Like, in terms of like musical cues?
Yeah, like I don't know how to explain it, man, but
you just kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I know what you mean. So, like, for example, for me, that was like, honestly, it was with Suicide Squad. You seen Suicide Squad?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
It's not that bad a movie. It's really entertaining. No, but for me, it was like when they're introducing Diablo's character, and and he's like in the prison. They keep him in the tunnel, and then when they're introducing him, they start playing "Slipping Into Darkness" by War. Which, I mean, for people that are fans of, like, like old, like gangster flicks, like Cholo flicks, they pass that song, like, in every movie. It's just a straight up, like, Chicano, you know, like 50s, or it's not 50s, but it's like a Chicano's like oldie classic, you know, sort of like Angel Baby. But it's like Slipping Into Darkness by War is definitely one of them. So it's like they show his character, and right as they show it, it's the musical cue, the you know, like slipping. Yeah, for me that was probably one of the best music cues I've ever seen. It's not a bad movie.
Dude, it's really bad.
It's not bad. Awful. Dude, it's not great, but it's entertaining.
Harley Quinn in that movie, dude, she almost breaks that movie.
Wow.
She's so
that's
annoying.
Margot Robbie.
She's trying so fucking hard, man.
Okay, that's true. She was in the
Wolf of Wall Street. The voices in my head. Fuck you, bro. And then you got fucking Rick Flag. Like, this is Katana. She's got my back. I'd advise not getting killed by her. Her sword holds the souls of its victims.
Impossible.
And then Harley Quinn's like, nice to meet. Like, fuck you. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Or what's she say? It's like, the best one. Normal is a setting on the washing machine.
Bro, come on, man. You like that movie better.
Yeah, but I mean, I said it's entertaining, but you bring a good point in which it has some terrible dialogue at times. You don't think it's entertaining?
It's entertaining and like so bad that it's good.
Like, nah. Yeah. Like, that's like The Room.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like The Room. No, it's like, come on. You don't think it's a little entertaining?
It's fucking terrible. And then
Billie Eilish is in it. She plays Enchantress.
Oh. Fucking the one funny part in that movie is when Captain Boomerang, like the leader of the team is like, you're free to go, and like Captain Boomerang just like gets up and fucking leaves. Like, I thought that was really funny. He's just in the bar. Yeet. Yeah.
Just fucking.
But then he comes back for no reason. He just comes back.
Oh, the power of friendship. No.
The real suicide was the friends we made along the way.
No, I mean, what was I gonna say? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Let me just give me a sec. Okay, yeah, I remember. No, one of the things that I thought was cringe was like they all meet each other, and then, you know, like within a few minutes, and then it's like then they get sent out to a mission immediately, and then it's like they don't even like each other. They're all trying to escape. They all like don't get along. They're trying to clap each other. 45 minutes later, she's like, I lost one family. I don't have to lose another family. It's like, fucking bro.
Vin Diesel.
Family. Jesus. No, that one was bad. I didn't like that one. It's an entertaining movie in general. Come on.
No, I don't think so.
Birds of Prey is gonna suck.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
That's gonna be bad.
You take the worst parts of Suicide Squad and put them in a movie.
Jesus. What's next?
Mission Impossible Fallout.
I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. Dude, that's me. That's on me.
Dude, Fallout had my heart pumping throughout the entire movie. Just like all the way into the climax where I could finally just like lay back in my seat and just like, oh, thank God Tom Cruise is okay. Like,
bro, Tom Cruise is a midget, low key. He's like 5'7".
Yeah, he's our height.
He's your height.
I'm 5'8".
I'm 5'9".
Oh, well, yeah, he is a midget then.
He's like my little brother's height. No, my little brother's almost taller than me now. I hate it. Fucking Cain and Abel in this shit.
Jesus Christ, man.
Nah, dude, you know what people just completely overlook? The fact that Tom Cruise was like the face of Scientology when it started getting all famous and stuff.
They overlook it now?
No, they've always did, and they do now. Like,
I don't think
Scientology is like a really like messed up cult, you know?
I just think people don't know how bad Scientology is. And I don't either, but...
Right, but it's like... It's but like, I mean, you believe in, like, Cthulhu, like, the squid monster that lives in... Xenu, right. Xenu is, like, he lives in a volcano prison, and then... It was written by H.P. Lovecraft.
No.
L.
Ron Hubbard.
Oh, L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Not H.P. Lovecraft. I'm dumb. Where's my razor? You know what he named this cat?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's H.P. Lovecraft. Never mind, that's not relevant. But I mean, he makes a point. No.
You can't really bring up Tom Cruise's name without someone mentioning his Scientology background.
Nah. I think when you mention Tom Cruise, the first thing that comes up is Top Gun, Mission Impossible, The Outsiders, being a closeted gay, and Top Gun 2, which is going to be very, very terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of overlooked. But I mean, at the same time, I would need to know more about Scientology. But on the surface, and from what I've heard and what we've all heard, is that it's essentially just like a cult. Except it's not a cool like the Manson family.
It's just like a pay-to-win cult. Like,
right. It's like a country club cult. Jesus.
Next on my list is Midsummer, which, bro.
Damn.
The theater experience I had in Midsummer is like truly fucking cursed. Like,
tell them what happened to you, bro.
So we walked in and we started watching the movie, and so there's the opening intro, which like fucking smacks you in the face with, and then
I remember that.
Nothing happens for a while, and then there's a scene on the cliff. Where the two old people do the thing, and then I remember at that point some people in the theater, I'm pretty sure they walked out at that point.
They could do that scene is so grotesque.
Yeah.
It's so realistic, and they just like replay it and like they mess with it and they just drag it out, and it's like Jesus.
And
they slow-mo it.
Yeah, and there's like it's silent too. There's no like goofy sound effects where it's like
squeaky.
Yeah, we could hear like this flesh all squishy and stuff.
Like the ASMR shit.
Yeah. And then so they show what happens, and then to my right is my friend Stefan and his girlfriend.
And, I shouldn't say names, bro.
Yeah, sorry. To my right is my friend and his girlfriend, and so she starts crying, and my friend starts like covering up her eyes so that she can't see what's on screen.
Jesus.
And then like they leave the theater for a little bit, and then they come back, and then towards the climax of the movie, like the music is swelling, and I'm looking to my right. It's just like the climax. The music is swelling, and like I look to my left, and my friend he's like this. He's like has his shirt over his like face, and he's like crying, like sobbing. And,
sobbing?
Not like sobbing, but like you can see like he's like and like you can see like tears streaming down his face. And I look to my right, and like my friend is like covering his girlfriend's face, and I'm thinking about the people who left the theater, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, Jesus, fuck, this movie's cursed. And then like, yeah, man. When the movie ended, we just kind of sat there for a little bit, like, what the fuck?
Then they play a happy song at the end. Yeah. Same with this other movie,
Hereditary.
Yeah. Which we'll get into right now in a little bit too.
But
right now in a little bit.
Yeah, after we left the theater, we were like, what the fuck did we just watch? And then Noah was like, yo, I'm never watching that movie again, like period, like ever.
Damn, I saw it like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But no, just in general though, the effects, the acid trip effects, like the hallucinogenic effects, the writing, the pacing, the special effects, like the actual physical props and everything. Just amazing movie right there. Straight up.
The themes of like him.
The themes
of basically like her like releasing everything from her old life, like exactly. And then like being truly accepted into reborn. Like literally,
it's just so like it's so profound too because the one theme of the movie is that life is like 4 seasons. Yeah. It's like spring, summer, fall, winter, and if you notice it, the movie is the same too. The movie starts off really dark like winter, and then it becomes sort of like fall, and it becomes sort of like summer, and it's become sort of like spring because it's kind of like a rebirth, like a reawakening. I could be saying that wrong, but I did hear about that, and I did notice it too, that the movie is kind of divided in different, like, with different tones and settings and just kind of moods, you know, like, because she's like, at one point she's really awkward, you know, she's like, she doesn't like it. Then at one point she's so into it that she starts speaking Swedish out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then the more she's becoming, like, kind of like finding herself again, the more her boyfriend is like straying away. And it's just like, and it's just so, and for example, like, what's the first shot of the movie? It's not like it's not them at the bar. It's an unrolling, or it's like a painting, and it shows the movie. It shows what it's about, and it shows how it ends, and it shows everything. If you look at it, you know, it's like, that's the very first shot of the movie. And if you notice, it starts off really dark and like wintry and stuff. Like, it's just so, like, profound, you know, like, all in all, amazing movie. Not for the weak-hearted, or not for the faint of heart, rather.
Yeah.
Just a pretty strong movie.
Pretty cursed movie, man.
Pretty cursed.
Yeah.
And the whole, like, the most ironic part of it all, it's not a horror movie.
What do you mean?
It's not a horror movie by definition.
Why not?
He doesn't call it a horror movie. I don't want to give it away though.
What does he call it?
It's a romantic movie. It's a romance movie. It's about a breakup.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's not about, like, the horrible stuff that's happening. It's about the breakup. So he doesn't consider it a horror movie. So it's like, by definition, by default, it's a breakup movie. You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just a crazy movie.
Getting into Hereditary, you like Hereditary more than Midsommar.
I will say I like Hereditary more than Midsommar. Oh, just more scary, more disturbing, also very profound, but I think it layers differently. So, for example, it's like Hereditary will, like, give you something, and then you realize there's multiple layers behind it. Layers like early callbacks, or like things that they referenced or mentioned slightly, but then come back. Also, just in terms of things that you have to look outside of the box. For example, there's scenes in Hereditary where there's writing on the wall, and it says...
Satanas?
No, it says...
Zanza?
No, it says something Pandemonium?
Yeah, Pandemonium, and then I can't remember what the word on the left was, but yeah.
It's like and it's like a Latin word in Pandemonium. And then just throughout the movie, there's like, it says like demon names and things like that. They're just little like writings on the wall. The first shot of the movie is like, it's like a sculpture, right? The little house things that they build.
Yeah.
And it just zooms in and then it starts.
Yeah. That was really cool.
That was crazy. Because as soon as the movie starts, you're already intrigued and confused. Like, okay, what are we looking at here? Is this like a trippy, it was all a dream movie, or what are we looking at? And then it unfolds. And then it unfolds before you, and it drops slight hints, a little bit of foreshadowing, you know. And then you think you have it figured out, you think you understand something, then boom!
Yeah.
The whole dynamic changes.
The whole fucking thing just like completely changes. And I didn't know where it was going after a certain event towards the end of like the first act, I think.
Yes. And completely just changes 180. So it's like, okay, now what are we looking at here? And then it just unfolds more and more and more. And there's more layers to it. And then things that were just a simple line in the first few acts, in the first few scenes, turn out to be, you know, like segues for, you know, a whole new world, whole new just like, you know, layers of story, of backstory, of, you know, things that you never saw coming, things that all of a sudden make sense. For example, when she's giving a speech at the funeral, she says that her brother committed suicide because he was schizophrenic, because he said that his grandma, or that his mom
put people in him. Yeah. Should I not have spoiled it or what?
No, you're good, okay. But like, we could bleep it out anyways. But no, it's like, you know, just little things like that, you know. And not to mention that it's incredibly disturbing. It's a horror movie of if I've ever seen one. And my honest opinion, it's the greatest horror movie of all time. You can't beat it. If you don't like it, you're not smart. You know?
But to be fair, you need a relatively high IQ to like Hereditary.
Well, actually, yeah, well, first of all, I wouldn't recommend it unless you have a high enough IQ. For example, shit, what do you insert? I watch Rick and Morty. That's a good way to start. Nah, bro. But just amazing horror movie. All in all, just you can't beat it. I dare you to think of one better. And you can't, because the only thing that's better or more grotesque or more disturbing is either just a gore movie that's just gory as hell, or like something that's so like profound and stuff, or something that's even more deep and more profound than Hereditary that's just going to become boring or just non sequitur. You can't beat a movie like Hereditary. I dare you to try. You can't. The only thing someone could say against that would be like a banned movie, like a super messed up movie, but even still, it's not the same. Can't beat it.
I mean, I like Midsummer more.
Right?
Yeah, for real.
You like Midsummer more?
Yeah.
Why though? Explain it to me. Explain it to me.
I can't. I think it just has to do with like the experience that I had watching Midsummer.
Mm.
And like I just can't separate it from I just can't separate the theater experience that I had. I can't separate it from the actual movie itself. And that's why I think I like it more. I mean, you could say it's a better movie, but going down to like personal opinion, I like it more.
That's fine, you know. Some people have inferior opinions. That's all right. No, I'm kidding. No, it's perfectly understandable if you think Midsummer's better. You know, like, there's a lot of reasons why it could be better. Like, I'm not denying that at all. Personally, for me, it'd be Hereditary, just because of the reasons I mentioned. You know, like, Hereditary has, like, GOAT status. I don't think Midsummer does because, you know, by definition, it's kind of not a horror movie, but it's just a great movie in general. You know, so it's just it comes down to one of those things. Can you compare the two? I mean, sure, you can compare and contrast. It's just a matter of taste, though, in the end.
Yep. What's another one of your favorite movies from this decade?
We're talking about horror or just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general. Have you seen Ex Machina?
No.
Ooh, I think it's on Netflix. If it's not on Netflix, go to Solar Movies, 123 Movies, Yes Movies. I'm not trying to get banned here.
You could just buy it.
Or you can buy it on DVD or Blu-ray too. Why didn't I think of that? I think it's on Netflix. If it's not, you know what to do. Dude, you need to watch that movie. Just amazing. It's mind-blowing. And it's not like, because there's gimmicks that movies do to try to be mind-blowing, like, you know, a plot twist, you know, or something like that, or it was all a dream. And that's just lame, you know, it's cliche. But Ex Machina, sort of like Midsummer or Hereditary, it just unfolds, and it just blows your mind as the story unfolds, and you understand it. Like, honestly, you need to watch it. It has a great cast. Oscar Isaac is in it.
Yeah.
He plays a scientist, you know, and you think it wouldn't suit him, but it does, and that just adds more to his character. And it's just...
Is he Mexican?
He's from Honduras, I think. I think he's from Honduras or Guatemala, you know, something inferior.
Yeah.
You know, we all look the same, right? We're all just nopales.
We're all the same in their eyes, though.
Just nopales, straight up. But I mean... Yeah, you know, he's great in that movie. And just in general, it's just such a mind-blowing movie. It just completely changes how you think. Like, funny story about it. So I stole a line from that movie. I used it in an essay. And I got an A just by writing one sentence. You think I'm lying. You think I'm exaggerating. I fucking swear. I swear on my mom, like, I straight up, we had to write an essay, for school. It wasn't a big essay. It was more like one of those, like, response paper, or, like, presents a question and you have to write it, or answer it, right? What's that called? Like, I'm not thinking right here. Like, like a default setting essay. But it's like, so I think it was, the question was, it was like, like, shallowly deep, I guess is one way to say it. Sort of like just asking about consciousness, like what separates us, just something kind of basic, but touching on, like, profoundness. And all I said was one line. All I said was, Mary in the black and white room. And I turned it in like that, and I dead ass got an A on it.
Mary in the black and white what?
Mary in the black and white room.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly. So I let the teacher figure it out. He figured it out. He realized what it meant and how it applies to the question and how I could deliver it with just one line. And he's like, it convinced him enough to, like, give me an A.
Who was the teacher?
I mean, Mr. Harvey.
Oh.
I mean, like, me and him, we're pretty cool with each other. So that helped. But, I mean, to be fair, he also said, you do some shit like that, I'm going to fail you. He's just like, don't do that again. But, I mean, it was enough to, like, it was enough to get an A for the day. Yeah, but, I mean, Mary in the black and white room, look into it. Ex Machina. That was what we were talking about. That's a good movie. Let me see what else I real quick. Ooh. Have you seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer?
No.
Have you seen any movies by Yorgos Lanthimos? Shit, what's the motherfucker's name? Yorgos Lanthimos.
No.
You never seen any movie by him?
Name some of them.
Okay, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster.
Oh,
hold up. Dogtooth.
Yeah, and then there's another one that came out recently.
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
That came out this year? Or when did that come out?
2 years, maybe? No, that was Deadass's most newest movie, I think. If not, it was The Lobster. The Lobster.
No, I thought there was a movie. I thought there was a movie that he made after The Lobster, but I guess not.
No, that was Killing of a Sacred Deer. Let me look it up real quick. Can you hand me my phone?
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, I need you to pull that up. Oh, The Favorite.
The Favorite. That's what. Yeah.
I haven't seen The Favorite.
I think it came out 2018.
Yeah. Yorgos Lanthimos, dude, that's a crazy old director right there. Killing of a Sacred Deer, just straight up, just a peculiar movie. I love it though. Dogtooth was.
Sorry.
I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. No, Dogtooth, probably one of the. It's a weird movie. It's not scary. It's not gory, but it's a banned movie, just because of how weird and disturbing it is. Not a lot of people have seen it, so I can give a little bit of it away. But it's pretty much, it's like this couple, they decide to do an experiment in which they raise kids, but they raise them all super weird, and they tell them lies and stuff. Like, for example, like, you can't go outside for too long, or like airplanes, like, they fall from time to time, and they're actually like this big, so they'll throw like a toy airplane in the yard and be like, hey, look, another plane fell from the sky. They're like, oh, I want it. I think there's like some incest in it. And the thing is, the kids aren't kids, they're adults. They're grown up, but they just raise them all weird and stuff. Like, they're not allowed to watch movies or anything like that. And like, they make them do all sorts of weird stuff and tell them that it's normal. It's a really weird movie. But I mean, point being, Killing of a Sacred Deer, that's a really good movie. It's actually an allegory. It's a very good example of an allegory. If it's not an allegory, then a retelling. The Lobster was also really good. I think I need to rewatch it. The ironic part about that is I watched it on Valentine's Day.
And that's a movie about like someone who can't find love, right?
No.
Can't find a partner.
The Lobster is about
Can't reproduce.
if you can't find a partner, you go to this like sort of like it's like a hotel. You go to a hotel, and you have a certain amount of days there to find a partner. If you don't, I don't want to give the twist away, but you have a certain amount of time to find a partner, and you go hunting for people, sort of. And if you, the more you get, the more days you get added on. And so it's kind of a really weird love story in a sense. It's about a society that puts love and relationships above everything else. And I think that's a bit of like a symbolism, like for how we are as a culture, or as a society. But I mean, that was definitely an interesting movie. I like Killing of a Sacred Deer more though. That dude's a crazy old director. I like him though. What you've got, bro?
I mean, it's all the movies on my list.
Here, I got some movies here. You ever seen The Grey?
No.
Dallas Buyers Club?
No.
You haven't seen Dallas Buyers Club?
No.
Whack.
Have you seen
The Fighter?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
have you seen Warrior?
The Warrior?
Warrior.
No, I haven't seen it.
I think it came out the year after The Fighter.
Is it an MMA movie?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet though.
That movie's inspiring as fuck.
Have you seen Here Comes the Boom?
Warrior 2, pretty much.
That's a great old movie too though. Beasts of No Nations.
Yo, yeah.
You've seen Beasts of No Nations?
Yeah.
That's a good movie. Super overlooked. I know it was popular when it came out, but the thing is, it's a Netflix movie, so it doesn't have the same kind of
reach.
The same kind of reach. But that's an amazing movie. Idris Elba.
Fuck, man.
Fuck.
I mean.
Great. That's a great old actor right there. Agu. That was his name. Agu. Damn, that movie's that's a good movie right there. It's sort of like a better Blood Diamonds, You ever seen Blood Diamonds?
No.
Leo DiCaprio?
Is that where he has like a weird accent? Yeah.
Because he's supposedly like, he's trying to do a South African accent.
African, yeah. Disting. Yeah. I'm librarian. I'm sorry, I like your accent. Where you from?
Or like, you ever seen Chappie?
No.
You never seen? It's funny because it takes place in South Africa, and two of the main characters are D Antwoord, which is like it's a rap rave group from South Africa. Also, one of my personal favorites of all time. I love D Antwoord, and it's kind of like their movie, and they play their songs in it, and it's about like a droid, like a motherfucking like a police robot, and like I think they capture one, and like they. Oh my god, what is it? No, they don't capture it. It's like, oh my god, I need to remember the movie. It's like he takes it home, I think, and I think it gives it consciousness. Something like that, I don't remember. But it's a pretty good movie, It's not super great, but I mean, D Antwoord is in it, and it's entertaining, so it's a pretty good movie. I remember my friend was telling me about it. He's like, yeah, bro, like Chappie, at first he's all normal and stuff. And then, like, he hangs around with gangsters and he do bad stuff. And then he becomes like that, like, he even walks like that, like that and stuff. And it's ironic because the same thing happened to my friend. He was like Chappie. At first he was like, Chappie has fears. And next thing, they put, like, chains on him and shit. He's out here doing heists and stuff. Oh, that was a good movie, though. How about, you ever seen The Fighter?
Part of it, I think, like the first half of it.
The first half of it?
Christian Bale, dude, in that movie.
Dude.
Great work.
Dude, can we talk about, like, Christian Bale's performances this decade,
Yeah,
though?
fuck, dude. He, like, went from fat, skinny, buffed. Like, think about it, man. He, like, I don't know.
I mean, think about it. Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
buff, you know, Vice, super fat. What else was he in this decade?
He was fat in was it Dallas Buyers Club?
No, that was Matthew McConaughey.
Which one was it?
American Hustle. American Hustle. Yeah.
He was fat in that one. He was
And then he was also in Terminator Salvation.
Was that this decade?
Yeah. It wasn't good.
Yeah, I've heard.
I also heard Terminator Dark Fate wasn't good.
Oh, who could have thought, man? Who would have predicted?
Who would have thunk it? Feminists, they ruin everything. Let's see, Vice. Have you seen Vice? Dude, that movie's insane. You need to watch it, cause if you like conspiracy theories and stuff and shit, but you actually don't know anything about it in general, then it's kind of like there's no point to it. But Vice is sort of like, hey, this crazy shit really did happen, and nobody's doing anything about it, and it's a common truth now, and you were manipulated and lied to, and thousands of people died. You know, the basis of a conspiracy theory, but it's true, and it straight up gives it to you on a silver platter. And then just Christian Bale's performance as Dick Cheney was just uncanny. It was just, you know, like, you can't top it, dude. Crazy. What else was he in this decade? American Psycho. Nah, that wasn't even.
That was like 20 years ago.
That wasn't even in this century.
In this millennium.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Jesus, I mean, if you think about it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. That's a great movie.
Talk about a classic, bro. Cult classic, underrated.
Incredibly underrated. Because, I mean, the thing is funny because when the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies were released, we were all pretentious about it. Oh, the book was better. Oh, they tried to fit all 4 books in one movie. Oh, it was bad. No. Rowley's not like that, you know?
Yeah.
But then you give it a few years, you're like, bro, those movies were great. They were funny and they were like comical and they were kind of nice, you know? Then the second one, that was super great. It actually had a good plot. It had good themes. It was for a family film, super good family film.
I remember there's that line where Roderick's like, "You're my brother, but you'll never be my friend." And I was like, "Fuck, man!"
It's like, damn, bro. Like, because Greg's like, "I'm sorry." It's just he's like, "It's okay." He's like, no, he says like, "You're my brother, but you'll never be my friend." Just walks away. It's just like, damn.
That's like up there with like Spy Kids 2, where like
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, that's like up there with like some of the most profound lines in a kids movie.
He's like, "Do you think God also stays up in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created?" Like, Jesus, wanna fucking chill, Robert Rodriguez. Fuck.
No, that's not the Spy Kids theme. What's the Spy Kids theme?
I've only seen the third one, but because they played it on Disney Channel like 24/7 when I was a kid. So I haven't seen it in years, but I know exactly what it's about and I know exactly what happens. And I've never seen 1, 2, or 4. They're just... Because, I mean, 4 is terrible.
I don't think anyone's seen 4, man.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. I haven't seen 1 and 2, though.
That's our Black Panther, man.
That's like our Black Panther and shit, fool. It's funny because he's in Machete, too. Junie.
He is?
You ever seen Machete?
No.
Dude, that's a great movie. Danny Trejo. It's funny because in it, he plays like a cholo. And he's like, hey, you know, like, just because like, I'm adopted and shit, fool. And it's like, you know, it goes off like on a rant. Or, you know, it says like, it doesn't matter, you know, like if I'm adopted and shit. And Danny Trejo's like, no shit. Nah, fucking Junie. Isn't he going out with like, fucking... Megan Trainor? Yeah.
Yeah. I only know it because, like, I think I saw on a meme page that, like, he was walking out of, like, a sex shop or something.
And they were, like, with bags of dildos or something. It's like, Jesus.
It's one of the dirtiest photos I've ever seen. Because everything about that photo was crusty.
Crusty. Fucking... Ricardo Montalban was in it. That was his last movie.
Who was he?
His grandpa.
Oh,
Remember,
yeah.
like, how he gives him, like, the pill or whatever? Then he's like, just out of there. Dude, Ricardo Montalban was, like, he was, like, the original, like, Latin lover, you know, like, he was a great actor, too. And I think that was his last movie. So it's kind of symbolic of, like, what actually happened, you know?
Dude, there's that scene where he's like, I can't walk on the beach with my wife because she's in a wheelchair. I'm just like, fuck, man.
Ricardo Montalban. And then it's like, it's weird because it's sort of like one of those movies that kind of predicts what happens, like in real life. For example, like with the dragon, the Bruce Lee story. You ever seen that? The movie about Bruce Lee, and like he's fighting his demon, and the demon starts going towards his son.
Yeah.
And he's like, no! And like, you know, he tries to kill it. And then a few weeks later, or like a few months or weeks later, his son actually dies on the set of The Crow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's like, that was one trippy thing that happened that I heard about. Another trippy thing is like Poltergeist.
Oh, the set of that movie, how it was fucking cursed?
No, like I think they all died. Or like the main girl, she died when she was young.
Really?
Yeah. She had some sort of fucked up shit. And I think he was either after the... Because I know there's like 3 Poltergeist movies and only the first one was kind of good. And it's like, she straight up like died. And I think bad things happened to the other people. I heard that set was cursed.
I think it was the Passion of the Christ that was also cursed. That like things like that set just couldn't get a break because bad things were always happening. Like the main actor got sick a bunch and stuff.
Damn. The one by Mel Gibson?
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I heard? Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone movie was hella cursed because there's this scene where there's like a helicopter or something, and it crashed, and there was like 2 child actors.
Yeah.
And the guy went to save them, but he just died too. And like the helicopter blade like chopped off the head of like one of the kids or something.
Fuck.
And it's just like, yeah, like they all died. And I don't know. I think they eventually released it, but it's like, damn, like it doesn't get more cursed than that. Fuck, dude. If that happens while you're making a movie, it's like, just don't make.
I think God just doesn't want you to make it at that point.
I said.
He can know.
We're gonna make the movie, so puedo ir o no? It's like, I was gonna say, oh shit, there was another one, I forgot. What was it? It was like, Troy? Shit, I forgot. There was another cursed set. I can't remember.
I can't remember standing by the door.
No, I can't remember. It's crazy though. Oh no, I do remember now. Apocalypse Now was also a bit of a curse set because straight up Martin Sheen had a heart attack on. I think they got it on. I think it's in the movie when he got like a heart attack. Yeah, I think it is because that's one of the big things. I heard that movie was super cursed, and that I think they accidentally showed like dead bodies on screen or something.
I think I heard that.
Yeah, they showed dead bodies on screen in Apocalypse Now. The scene where they chop off the cow's head, that's straight up real. Like, they're straight up chopping off, like, the cow or the ox's head or whatever. They were, like, 6 months into it. Or, like, they were a few months into it. They didn't even finish the script. They had no idea what they were doing. They were running out of money. It sounded like a horrible set. Like, they were all going crazy. And it's funny because if you actually watch the movie, that's the vibe you get from it. Because I saw Apocalypse Now and it's like, bro, this is like, I feel weird for some reason, you know? Like, it's creeping me out. What's another good movie?
I think we're good at movies.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, unless I can think of something else. You ever seen The Grey?
The Wolf movie?
Yeah.
No.
That was a pretty good movie. You should watch it with Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson. I've acquired a particular set of skills.
Did you ever have that substitute in high school?
Still, Mr. Liam Neeson.
Which sounded like Kermit the Frog.
What was his name?
Mr. White.
No, it wasn't Mr. White.
It was Mr. White.
No.
Yeah, I remember how it was spelled. It was Mr. White. Still, I can't. I shouldn't spell it, but it was Mr. White.
He lives at. No. Was that really? I'll ask my little brother later. I know who you're talking about though, and we'd all make fun of it to say like Mr. Liam Neeson. That's not funny.
Instead of saying he subbed algebra class for us, and instead of saying algebraic, like the algebraic expression, he would say the algebretic. The algebretic expression.
The algebretic expression. That reminds me. Yesterday, I was talking to my coworker. And I think, I don't want to mention it a whole lot, but it's like, pretty much he was telling me like, like something weird was going on, and he said like he was pretty suspicious because something like, like something like was really wrong, like, he's like, I don't know, man, that kind of makes him more like, like spectacle of people. And the thing is, I really like him and I really respect him a lot, so I was just kind of like, nah, I get what you mean, fool. I was like, I don't have the heart to do it, but it's like, I was like, I got the gist. I knew what he meant, and we weren't around any people. Fuck it, I let him slide. Jesus. Dude, and then yesterday, some dude was trying to stare me down because we were supposed to kick him out. That was like the official order, like, because my superior told me, he's like, we need to kick that guy out. And I go over there, I start telling him, hey, we need to, like, you guys need to go and stuff. And then I guess like all hell mad, he starts like staring me down, hella, just like, just like hella staring me down. And I just stare at him back, I was just kind of like that. Then I realized he's trying to get, fresh with me. And I was like, oh, we're in a staring contest, So I was like, oh, you want to do so? So I cock my chin up and I just look at him like that, And I don't like. I just stay like that. And he's giving me like a death stare, like he wants to throw hands. I just stare at him all casually, like, bro, I could be watching Sesame Street right now. Then eventually he's like, kind of looks away. I was like, I win, bitch.
You were the Alpha Lobster.
I was the Alpha Lobster. What does he say? The lobsters shoot like liquid out of their eyes, and it's like the Chad lobster has like the best liquid.
Oh yeah.
That's all I learned from the book. Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules of Life. I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10. Changed my life. I clean my room every day now, and I only eat lobster.
Dude, this isn't Jordan Peterson's book. This is Ben Shapiro's book.
Oh, right. How the left bullies motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's kind of a mistake, but, I mean...
I wonder where is Jordan Peterson's book? Hold on, let me get it real quick. Pretty sure. No, this isn't it. Here we go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for sure.
This is where he talks about lobsters.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the lobsters.
That passage right there about the little boy who like wouldn't eat his dinner.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, pretty good.
It's like the pages are stuck together for some weird reason. Damn. I need to finish that book. It was a great book, but then I started getting bored.
Listen to the audiobook, man. That's what I do.
Does he read it?
Yeah.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, imagine if Ben Shapiro made an audiobook for his.
Bro, come on. You'd have to like play it at like 75 speed,
At 0.75.
just for it to sound normal.
And the idea, folks. Just like that.
It's like, oh, I can understand,
Imagine playing a Ben Shapiro audiobook at like ×2 speed. Just has like Morse code. Who do you like better, Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson, 100%.
What?
1,000%.
Nah, I kind of like Ben Shapiro a little better.
Well,
but I mean,
in what regard?
There's like a certain innocence about him. He has a childlike wonder in his eyes. Like, he doesn't know what rap music is. And he doesn't know what PewDiePie is. Or, like, he doesn't understand what it is. Like, he was on PewDiePie's meme review. He was kind of going along with it. I don't think he understands what comedy is. Like, how sometimes your face will, like... And sometimes your body will, like... He's new to it all. There's, like, a certain, like... just something about him, like, he's learning along just as he goes along in this world, like the Little Rascals, or like the Orphan Annie. It's a hard knock life. Actually, okay, first of all, the reason why you have a hard knock life is because your mommy and daddy are bad with money, okay?
And they made bad decisions.
They made bad decisions. Facts don't care about your feelings, Annie.
And Jordan Peterson is like, the reason you have a hard knock life is because you're aiming too high. You need to start within yourself to make actual change. Clean up your room, for God's sake, Annie.
Clean up your bloody room, for God's sakes. Fucking Jordan Peterson. Pinche Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, man, he's the reason I keep my room clean, my car clean. The
reason I keep my room clean is when people are coming over and we shoot videos like this.
But yeah, man, every day I make my bed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't. I need to... My bed sheets are too crusty, so I lift them up. Boom! Like, watch the white dust come off.
Like a styrofoam board, you like fold your blankets. It just breaks.
I gotta put them in the microwave for a little bit every morning. Jesus. Bro, you know who beats both of them though? Fucking Joe Rogan.
In a fight, maybe, but like...
Because, like, Ben Shapiro will be going off on him. Like, in the idea, okay, first of all, you look at Keynesian economics. Joe Rogan's just like, you know what, fuck this. I've had enough, just...
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's so, like, he's talked to both of them, and they were both great podcasts. I think Jordan Peterson's was a little better because it didn't come off as aggressive. So, for example, Ben Shapiro's podcast on the Joe Rogan show, it was like a lot of it was kind of aimed towards like the transgender people debate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like he has his opinions on it, and it's like it kind of came off as kind of like like he's trying to get his point across, he's kind of like a little bit aggressive about it, as opposed to Jordan Peterson, which he's just talking about his ideas and what he believes. The thing with Jordan Peterson though is that he has really weird beliefs. Like, some of his stuff is weird. Like, he says women shouldn't wear makeup in the workplace because the sole purpose of makeup is sexual attraction. Or yeah, he did.
Well, he
or said, how do you say it?
He literally God damn it.
What is it?
Someone's calling my phone. Well, I don't remember exactly what Jordan Peterson said about makeup, but I know that he said like specifically that he wasn't saying that women shouldn't wear makeup, but I think his stance was that like what was it? It was like makeup is inherently sexual.
Right.
But he did say that women he didn't say that women shouldn't wear makeup in the workplace.
Right. I remember something about that. I don't know if it. Because I think I'm just paraphrasing the workplace thing, but I do remember that him saying that makeup is inherently sexual. And I mean, consciously, most people don't think of it like that. Like when girls have their makeup pages on Instagram that are never going to get famous. Like, it's just about like the looks, about the aesthetics, about the, hit me up, like DM me for personal or business inquiries. They don't see it as a sexual thing. But it just is biologically, you know, with the reddening of the lips, the reddening of the cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to think about, I suppose. James Charles, amazing philosopher.
Hi, sisters.
Hey, sisters. Gets me every time. Like, fuck, I do need to clean my room and clean my car and respect my parents. You're right, James Charles. What would I do without you?
What would James Charles do?
What would WWJCD? So it's like, no, it's like WWJD. So it's like, what would Jesus do? Right on, bro. I rock with the Christ too. It's like, no, it stands for James Charles. It's like, can you imagine that? Saying that's what Christian, bro? Right on, bro. You gotta believe, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking Christian bros.
Hey, I saw this meme. It was like the youth pastor at someone who like is stepping on the church stage is like, "Hey, Brachacho, do you mind stepping off the stage there, bud?" It's like, "Thanks, man." You fist bump, and then like
to the kid that's been there for years, it's like, "Get the fuck off the stage."
Man, I've been to a couple youth groups. It's an interesting vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just not used to people being that nice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for me at work. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
I feel so awkward when people are nice. Like, for example, like I work at a school district, and the teachers are always like, they're like, "Hi," and like they give you like the fake smile and stuff, and I don't know what to do. I'm just like,
So fool.
"What's so fool?" Or like, for example, on Friday, they gave me this one teacher gave me a little bag of like popcorn, like caramel popcorn, and she wrote a letter. It's like, "Daniel, it's like, hope you have a great holidays," or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I just felt bad. You know, I didn't feel good that I got a gift. I was like, fuck, I just feel weird because I'm not nice to her.
Yeah.
Like, we talk a little bit, like, "Hi, how are you? Cool, awesome, great, thanks, you're welcome," etc. But it's like, I don't really like care about her, you know, like, she doesn't cross my mind. And it's like, she got me a gift, and it's like, I just feel weird now. Not only because I didn't give her one, but also because I felt like I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I'm not nice to you. Like, I'm just like, I see you as a coworker, as a worker, you know, like, or someone who works here. You know, I felt weird about it. I'm still gonna eat it. But
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was weird. Like I didn't deserve it.
Yeah, that's why I don't really like receiving gifts for like my birthday and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't feel like I deserve it, and like I feel bad if it's a gift that I'm not gonna use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with the whole people being nice to me, it's just like, I'm not used to it, you know? It's just like, who are you? Who sent you?
Being like blatantly nice, like textbook nice, cause you have friends, they do nice stuff for you and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like that textbook nice where they say hi, how are you doing, and like they give you gifts and stuff. Like that's different from like the nice that we're used to at our age, where like someone will buy you like Jack in the Box or something. They'll spot you for Jack in the Box.
I was like, oh, you know, like, thanks, bro. I appreciate it, you know. That's,
Yeah.
you know, like, we're like that. We're like that. Then that's like, you know, it's like, because you could be like, you know, like, fuck you, I hate you. Well, let's go get Jack in the Box. You know?
That's how, that's our generation.
That's just how we are. You know, but then when people are just, like, super nice to you, you know, like, it's just like, I feel weird. Like,
so I made you some dinner.
Be mean to me.
Yeah.
Be cold and, like, or no, like, that's what I am. I'm, like, cold towards people, like, that are just super nice like that. So, you know, like, if we do end up being cool with each other, they at least earned my respect, you know?
But at the same time, I do want to learn how to be that type of nice.
To a certain extent, you know?
I don't want to turn into, like, SpongeBob, where, like, remember the episode where it becomes normal?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful weather we're having here.
But it's more like a social thing, I guess, you know? Not necessarily just being the nice, or just nice, but it's like, I think I have bad social skills in general. I don't know what to say, because I always say the wrong phrase. So it'll be like, have a nice day. It's like, how are you doing? Ah, shit, wrong one. Or it's like, How are you doing? You too. Like, you know, like, fuck, I always have the wrong one loaded up.
Yeah, I went to the deli and he was like, you're all set. I'm like, you too.
Jesus.
Or like, the one where it's like, hey, how are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm better now that you said it twice.
Like, damn, I might be disabled.
Or one of my favorite ones is like, I was in school one day, and, you know, I was walking down the hall to get to my next period, and I see this one girl that I know, that I'm cool with. And, you know, I have two go-tos. I say, what's up? You know, like, what's up, dude? You know, what's up? And I also say, yo. You know, it's just how I talk. So she came up, and I was like, soap. And I think she was like, you too, or something. I don't know. I was just like, oh, that was so bad.
For real, man.
Jesus. I have, like, I don't know. I feel socially awkward sometimes. It's just like, I don't know what to say or do, you know, like, you know, apes together strong.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember, like, the other day I was having a conversation with a coworker of mine at one of my other jobs. And he has this tendency where he just keeps going on and on and on, and then you're like, oh, yeah, all right, you know, like, for sure. Then you go do something else, he's like, but he's still there, he's, like, still talking, you're like, you still have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about boxing and stuff, you know, and we're like, oh, we're just having a casual conversation. But then he drops the M-bomb. He's like, Mayate. And I was like, oh, yep. No, this is it. Like, I'm out. Like,
Hopping off the train.
yeah, just like, this is my stop. Nope. You had me, then you lost me. But what were you going to say? No.
You're just like, hey. Time out.
It's like, maybe it's just a product of the time, you know, it's just how he was raised. How old is he? So you're 18? Nah.
12.
12. Dang. It's crazy. Another funny thing that happened to me on Friday before we went out for a winter break. My boss came up to me. He's like, all right. He's like, hey, I got you a gift. You know, he gives me a gift card. And then it's just like, he said just so many like courtesies that I couldn't squeeze anything. He's like, hey, I give you a gift. Thank you for working hard. You know, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and And I was like, thanks. You know, like, I wanted to be nice, you know. I was like, so you just kind of have to squeeze it in, like, thanks very, like, you know, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Haha, you know, like, ka-chow. And the worst part was that, like, I'm really grateful that he gave me this gift. You know, he shouldn't have, you know, and it's really nice. But it's a Subway gift card, and my mom works at Subway. So, I mean, that's like, as they say where I'm from, that's like putting on a belt and suspenders. It's like, I mean, I'm still going to use it and stuff, but it's just like, you shouldn't have.
No, really, you shouldn't have.
Exactly. It's like, no, really, don't.
Get Panda Express or something.
The other guy did.
Oh, really?
The other worker got Panda Express. And I was like, I'm not going to ask him to trade. That'd be horrible. No, we're just like...
It's like a little kid. You're like, hey, can I have yours?
Trade me. I'm going to tell Mom. You give me half.
If you switch me, I'll be your best friend.
If you switch me, I'll be your best friend. I'll give you a hug.
Yeah, I remember, like, kids would say, like, if you buy me a cookie, I'll be your best friend. I'm like, fuck you, bitch. I don't need no friends.
This is what capitalism drives people to do.
For real.
It's terrible. Terrible. You want Cheetos?
I'm okay.
I'll be your best friend.
You ever have I don't know how, like, do you ever have people ask you to, like, Chinese cut?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did that come from? And is that just like
China?
Is that just like a thing here, or like is it everywhere?
I've heard it other places too, but I think they call it different too. Like maybe in some regions, in some godforsaken Midwestern city, they call it like a Japanese cut maybe. But I mean, I've heard Chinese cut before, and it's pretty much like you cut, but you cut behind them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you actually cut the regular person. But it's like, I've heard of that, dude. We had all sorts of subculture things when we were kids, you know, like handball.
Yeah, dude.
We played handball.
I was a fucking prodigy at handball.
Dude, I was a prodigy at tetherball. No one can beat me, bro. I even beat the vice principal.
Oh, in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which vice principal? Dr. Subtle?
No.
Oh.
I'm not trying to.
Oh, okay.
The other one. Right?
Yeah.
Nah, but like for example, handball, everybody had the rule like you hit it, and if you do that under the ball, it's called black magic.
Yeah.
Black magic.
White magic.
White magic was like above it, right?
Yeah.
White magic. It's like voodoo is like mind controlling, nigga. Nah, but it's like, yeah, like we all had that, and I grew up in San Miguel, you know, like, and even then, we were all just like, you know, like indigenos, just like we'd play in the street with no shoes, just like on the sand there, like with nothing but cut off jean shorts, you know, like fucking bowl cuts, like Apocalypto or some shit. That's how we grew up, just hella poor and stuff like that. But we had our little subcultures, like for example, like the black magic thing, and then people from like all over, everybody does that, you know.
Yeah.
And then also butt cracks. That's when it hits the wall, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember like the people that were waiting to play in line, would say like hobos, and then like they would walk in front of the line, like walk in front of the wall, and you'd have to like aim your hit so that you wouldn't hit one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I didn't hear that one.
Some of them. I remember like my sister telling me about it, and she said her grade called them pink elephants. And I got mad because I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's hobos.
I know what you're talking about. There's a few things like that. Or, bro, you play Peggy's?
Yeah.
Peggy's was the shit. Like, I like those kind of games. We also played, like, Smear the Queer.
Yeah.
Not in an offensive way. That's just what we called it. It was just, like, pretty much, like, you would try to get the balls. Like, fuck yeah, and everybody has to tackle me. You know, like, that shit was hella fun. We used to get, like, so rough and shit. I don't know how we survived, low-key. Just the shit that we used to do as kids, fuck. Damn.
I remember my brother and his friends, we would like run through a storm drain. Like we would like downtown there was a storm drain opening, and we would run through it, and it would go to the riverbed. And in the riverbed, we would like start fires and stuff. And I remember, it was like in the spring where like the river is like still full, like there's still water there, but like it's going down. And we found like a dead like little sardine type of thing, and we found like a Coke can, and we like cut the Coke can in half, put some water in it, and we tried boiling the sardine.
Nah, I get that, because, for example, one time when I was younger, my cousins and I went to go visit our other cousin up in San Mateo, and, like, we went there, and my cousin that lived there, he wasn't there at the time, like, I guess they were out doing something, and they were going to arrive later, so we were just kind of looking around, and I had one of, you know, little fish squares that you get at the fair? Mm-hmm. It's not like a fish bag, it's like little plastic squares with a rectangle and the roof over it.
Yeah.
And there's a fish in it. The motherfucker was, like, dead for a week, just floating at the top and shit, just, like, dead-eyed, you know, like, and we're just like, bro, this motherfucker's dead. And we're just like, you know, like when you start doing something and you don't even realize it, like when you're on the phone, next thing you know, you're like upside down, and there's like, you're playing with the broom like that. Yeah. It was like that. We just kind of started fucking with it. Then like we stabbed it on a stick. Then we started like cooking it. And then we was like, hey, we found an habanero. So then we dug a fire pit. And like, you know, like you put the fish in there. We put like the little roof over it with the habanero. Then like we put a fire on top so it cooks inside. Started fucking with. I said, bro, fucking. He's like, our cousin's gonna get home. He's gonna see this shit. Damn, but no, it's just how it was, dude. I remember one time we used to play down in the tunnels, you know, like over in, yeah, we'd play like by the tunnels and stuff, you know, like, and I think it was winter at the time, or it was like spring, but like it was like half full of water.
Mm-hmm.
So we do this thing where we put like our legs on the side. It's kind of like go over like that. We were fucking around down there. We were doing like little fires. We were starting little fires. We were spray painting a little inside the tunnels because we found a can. I remember like I was at one point. I was inside the tunnel. I was trying to get to the other side, and I thought I heard something. And I look. There's a police officer with a flashlight. He's just straight up looking at me, and I'm like, ah, shit. Here we go again. Nah, and then like I was like, fuck. So then I get out of it. Like next thing I know, it's like they're right over here, like on top of us. Like, hey, what you guys doing? And then, you know, we're all trying to act all cool, you know, like just posted, just chilling,
Just straight posted.
And then they found out we were doing like a little fire. Just like, oh, you guys trying to start a little fire or something? We're like, oh yeah, just right here. There's like, oh, you know, like you can't be doing that. You know, they were nice and stuff, so it was cool. But what sucks is that like when you have cops like that and they're dealing with a group of people, no matter who they are, tensions are high. So what they do is like one cop will be in front of you and the other one will be like behind you or to the side. So they kind of like surround you a little bit. And we're trying to be as innocent as possible and shit, you know, just like trying to be all cool. And then like there was for whatever reason, because it's kind of by the woods, there was a dog right there. And the dog just like gets up, it starts like running off, like hella noise, hella leaves, like shh. And the cops start chasing it because they think it's like a dude or something. Like some guy that was with us and he's trying to run away from the cops. So it's like, oh shit. Now they think it's like some sort of like high pursuit kind of thing. So they're like, hey, who's that? You know, like, and they start like, you know, like, they think it's a person or something. We're like, no, it's a dog, look, it's a dog. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then pretty much that was, you know, like, it was just like, hey, don't do that shit, you know, be good, no, go home, take a shower, blah, blah, blah.
Go home to your mother.
Go home to you. You're a good kid. Yeah. I think we got in trouble because we put a mattress down there. And then I think they called the cops on us because like, it was going to clog the storm drain or some shit like that. But we were just straight posted. Damn, you got any stories, bro?
I remember there was this abandoned house near my house, near my apartment complex. And my cousins, I didn't go into it, but my cousins and my brother went into it. And they, like, started smashing the windows. And, like, they started fucking just, like, destroying the house. And then I remember one of the neighbors called the cops. Yeah. It was pretty funny. It was just like, this is so stupid, man. Like, what are we doing?
Dude, what happened?
I don't know. They just went in, they started breaking windows. The cops got called. And then, my little cousin, he's like a year younger than me. He, like, took a piss in the toilet. The cops pulled up, and from what they told me, he was like, the cops are here, red alert.
Bro, I can just picture that.
And like so the cops bring him out, and like they start talking to him, and they had to turn my cousin around because he couldn't stop laughing. Yeah.
And then what?
They got in trouble, and like pretty much the cops left. And I don't think my parents were too mad. I don't remember them being that mad. But yeah.
Damn, bro.
I remember just thinking like, what are we doing, man? like we're 12.
That's like shit. That's like fucking that one book by Sam Green. I don't remember, or Graham Greene, right?
John Green.
Beta male, bro. Nah, okay, so I remember one time I was walking with my homie. We're walking down the sidewalk, and that part of town it's not sketchy, but it's also like things happen over there. We're walking down the sidewalk, and there's like some guy trying to talk to us. I think he's trying to call us, like he thinks we know him, like he's calling us like, hey Richard, or like Julio or something like that. He's trying to call us. And we're like, we're just joking around, yeah, you want to join a rap group, you know, like, just kind of joking around like that. And, you know, we're just walking, the guy, like, comes over and is like, you know, like, hey, you know, like, what's up with it then? and there's like a steel fence, or there's like a fence with like black posts, you know, separating us, like the sidewalk from the little lawn thing. And he comes over, he starts talking shit and stuff, you know, like, hey, you know, what's up, bro? You know, like, I'm gonna go punch you and shit like that, you know, just like talking shit, like, you wanna go, bro? Like, you wanna go? And we're like just ignoring him and shit, like, okay. You know, he's just like walking down like the sidewalk, you know, and eventually we get to the point where like the fence ends. So he like jogs around and he's like, bah! He just like hits my friend like right in the face, like right on the cheek, just like that. And then like he runs off, and then we weren't even phased. We're like, at first it's shocked. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
But then we just kept walking to my friend's house, and that dude was a pussy because we were only like 14, and my friend just had like a little bruise, and that guy was a grown ass man. And like, so we go over there, you know, like we're just chilling with my friend, and we're like, bro, like, you know, like we gotta get revenge and stuff. So first we met up with some other delinquents there, like the kids that are, you know, like 2 years younger than you, but they've been to jail and like they stab people and shit. You know, like we were hanging out with some of them. We're like, bro, like, hey, let's get a paper bag, you know, let's get a shit and like light it on fire, leave it on the doorstep. I saw where the door was, you know. So we're like, all right, bet. So then like we start like doing it and stuff. Like, hey, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? So he's like, all right, I'll do it. It's like, but I can't go. So like we buy an energy drink. We got our money together. We buy an energy drink. Motherfucker chugs it. Then we're like, dude, we need to go somewhere though. Like, so there's like this little store plaza, and there's like an upstairs section where no one ever goes. So they go over there, and it's like, nah, we couldn't do it. We're like, ah, fuck, you know. Like they bowed out. So just like a few days later, we decided to take revenge. We're like, all right, I know what we can do. We can like knock out their power. So like we had a group of us, like a small group of us, like got together. So it's like, all right, you know, I found a little like aviator beanie, you know, like while we were outside fucking around. So I put it on, you know, like it was an operation or something. All right, so then we got a stick, like a bat or some shit like that. We're like, all right, let's go. So then we took our positions and stuff, and we saw all the lights were on, and we saw the one that was connected to the front door where the guy came out of. So we're like, all right, turn this one off. So like we turned one of them off. Because they didn't, the motherfuckers that worked there, they didn't lock it. Mm-hmm. So we just opened it, and we saw another one turn off. We're like, no, it's not that one, So then we kept doing that, like, until we found one of the gray circles. And it was the one, like, the light went off, like, this is the one. So we checked. Yeah, so we gave it to my friend that got punched. We gave him, like, the stick or whatever he had. Then it was just like, go. We just destroyed the shit out of it. We left it on, and we just beat it up, like, so bad. Like, we just destroyed it until, like, it went off. Mm-hmm. And then we was like, pew, jumped over the fence, just, like, ran back, you know, like.
You guys are terrorists.
Yeah, low-key. Bruh. Damn, that was worth it, though. It was definitely worth it.
On that note, I think I gotta go home now. Yeah, I can't be hanging around bad kids, bro.
What? All right, then I think we'll call it a wrap.
For sure.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you for being you. We couldn't do this without you.
Takeaways from this episode: John Green is a beta male. You like Suicide Squad?
It's entertaining. It's a good movie. It's better than Citizen Kane.
Alright, I think we gotta end it before you embarrass yourself more.
Alright, that's a wrap. Gotta unstick my balls.